Okay, we're going to attach this 5-light step light to the inside of the caliper, the brake caliper on the front wheel to light the front wheel. And because this bike has steel braided brake lines, we want to cover up this black wire, which normally gets attached to a black brake line and looks great, you don't see it. But with a chrome or a steel brake line, we've got to cover it with this chrome braiding material. And we sell this by the foot, and you'll be able to get this from our website. This stuff works kind of like a Chinese handcuff in that you need to push it back in order to open it up. So you need to get it back. It'll open up nice. You just have to kind of get it started. I usually use my knife. And yeah, I need my reading glasses in my later years here. There, I just get that knife in there, and then I'll take my long Phillips screwdriver, great tool, and I will use this. If I had a third hand, it would be a little easier. I will use this to slide the chrome braid over it and open it up. And what I'm going to do is pull and push at the same time. I'm going to push here and pull here so that it doesn't, if I just pull, it won't come because it'll tighten up. And if I just push, it won't do anything because it'll just get bigger and fatter down there where I'm pushing. So here we're going to bring it right up over this screwdriver, and generally the length of this screwdriver for most bikes is going to be enough chrome braid for, when it's opened up, for most V-twins. Some need a little bit longer, especially if it's a chopper, of course, you're going to need more longer line, but in this case, with this Dyna, this will be plenty. And we'll just bring it to the end there, snip it off with my scissors, and there's my chrome braid. Now all I need to do is carefully slide it off my screwdriver. Again, I can't pull it off or it'll tighten up on me and it'll bind to the screwdriver. So I kind of have to push it off like so. Now it's open. This is a real steel braid here. This isn't a cheap plastic covering of some sort. And now I'm going to cut the tip off that wire so they don't get bound on this as they travel through. And then I'm going to just push it right on through the entire length of this wire. Now, I don't want this wire to come all the way down to the light in this case, because it's going to be running over the top of the black caliper. And so I want this black wire to blend in with the caliper, and then I want my chrome braid to start up a little bit further. So I'm going to go measure this real quick and see where it needs to be. And see, just so I know about how much I need. I want my chrome braid to essentially start right at my brake line. So that's about this much here. I'm going to leave this much black, and then I'm going to hold it right where I want it to start, and I'm going to pull it out so it gets longer, and it'll come, as you'll see, almost all the way to the end of the wire that's attached to this LED pod, and we have a nice chrome line. Now I'll take a heat shrink tube, and what I've done is I've cut in half one of the 1/4 inch heat shrink tubes that we provide with our engine kit to go over the butt connectors. have to make sure that's good and small, or my heat shrink isn't going to go over it. I have to finesse it just a little bit here. Get it started. Then I can hold this end, bring it down. I went a little too far, so I'm going to kind of twist the end of that where it's all frayed slightly, and bring that heat shrink up over it like so. Cover all the fray, and then I'll shrink that down so it'll be nice and tight. Let me find my heat gun here, and I'll be right back. Okay, I've got my heat gun, and I've got my length of black, and then my chrome braid starts, and all I'm going to do is shrink that down. Like so. And now we have a nice clean connection that's not going to come unfrayed. It's not going to fray anymore. It's nice and secure. And I've got my black wire to go over my caliper. Again, I'll stretch this a little bit more. And now, before we actually apply this light to the caliper, we're going to need to prepare it with some tape. So I'll need my lacquer thinner to clean it, and my promoter to promote it, because any surface that I use tape on is going to get cleaned and promoted every time. No exceptions. A shortcut will kill you in this area, because a week from now the thing will fall off, and then you'll say, Boogie Lights doesn't give me good tape. No, you didn't prepare the surface right. This tape is awesome when it's being applied to a clean, promoted surface. So I've cleaned the back of my LED pod. You can see it's flat black now. I think you can see that. I'm taking my promoter, which is in your little envelope, and I'm just swabbing it liberally, like so. And now I'm going to let it dry for a few seconds. Maybe blow on it a little. Accelerate the process here. Doesn't matter if it's a little bit damp, you just don't want it real wet. I'm going to take my tape, come in maybe about 1/4 of an inch, or not even 1/4 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch. Come down and snip it off right about there. I want my tape to fall somewhere. My scissors aren't very sharp. And now my tape is on the back of the light and ready to be applied to the caliper. But is the caliper ready? No, it too needs to be cleaned and promoted. Let's go do that. Before putting this light on the caliper, there was one other thing as I was looking at it, I didn't like, and that was the fact that there's a red and a black wire, a little bit of red and black wire that come off the lights that isn't covered by our black casing right here where the casing comes up to the pod. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take a little piece of black heat shrink, and I'm going to put it all the way down to that pod so I cover up that red and black wire. This isn't a safety thing, this is a cosmetic deal. This is just going to make it look better so I don't see any red and black wires. All I see is a black case all the way down to the light. So that's just the perfectionist in me coming out here.